Page 47, Poor Wandering One. They're introducing a new key signature here. So we've had before the 1 sharp, and we've also had no sharps or flats. When the key signature is empty, that's still a key signature. I just didn't talk about it before because there was nothing there for you to see. Well, here's another one. It's 1 flat. It's a B flat. Because if notes were on those lines where the flat signs are in the grand staff, those are B's. It simply tells you all the B's everywhere are going to be played automatically B flats. So this is the time to go to my scale video, the playlist on scales, find the scale for F major. That's the key we're in, 1 flat F major, and learn that scale one octave up and down. Do the trill exercises. The fingering in the right hand is different than these other scales we've done. So really, the trill exercise and the accents will do you the most good. You just get in the habit of playing that B flat anytime you're in F major. So we're still moving around a little bit more. And we have another symbol there at the top. It's called a fermata. Some people call it a pause. I disagree. A pause to me is something else. A fermata simply means you hang on to the note longer than its value normally would be. For instance, look at here on this wandering thingy. At the bottom, the last measure you see above each staff, really, because each staff has to have its own fermatas. The fermata above the note, above the F in the right hand, there's a fermata. Well, that dotted half note in 3/4 time would last 3 counts. But with the fermata there, it means it's going to last longer than that. How much longer? That's interpretation. There's no set rule. It has to have this amount. It's how you feel it. Now, when I'm playing with a metronome, I got to stay with the metronome. So I just double the value of the note. That's just how I do it. You can do it any way you want. So it's like that dotted half note, I would hold it for 6 counts if I were playing with a metronome. If I'm not playing with a metronome, I just hold it for as long as I feel it should be held, and then I let go. The measure right before it, that B flat, the dotted quarter note, see, that would normally get 1.5 counts. Well, you just hang on to that however long you feel it should be held, and then you go on. If I do it with a metronome, because I got to stay with a metronome, here I'm just going to add 1 count. Because I can't add 1.5 counts. It throws it off. I got to have it. It got to work out because I got an 8th note coming. So I'm going to just add an extra count to it. It feels weird, but it's the way fermatas are. We just hold them a little longer. As I said, each staff has to have its own fermata because you can't have one staff holding and the other staff going on. They got to stay together. Yeah, that's why there's a fermata over the second beat on the lower staff. You're just holding that rest a little longer. Ideally, one or other of the hands will be controlling the rhythm there, and you'll do what you got to do in that hand. The other hand just waits until it's time to go on. Is how it works. Let's look over this wandering thing and see what we get. Look it over. I see it's 3 lines long. Treble and bass clef signs, 1 flat in the key signature in the key of F major, and 3/4 time signature. Right hand, because both hands are busy, starts here. So the hand position is here. Remember the B flat? It's in the hand position because it's in the key signature. Here. So it's 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1. Because you got to hang on, it's tied. Second line, it's here. See, a lot of times in music, we need to cover 6 notes and we only have 5 fingers to do it on. So we use various techniques to help us do that, and this is one of them. You cross over for 1 note. If you've been practicing the scales and the trill exercises, this should be easy. Because, see, that's all that. You're moving a little bit just for 1 note. But then the last 2 measures of the second line. During the rest, you got to come down. You want here, 4, and you reach down. You're sort of in this position. You're covering all those notes there in those 2 measures, and you're there. But I'm not covering them all the time. I want to stay relaxed, and if I stay spread out like that's tension. We don't want tension anymore, and we have to have it. So I'm kind of moving the handle around a little bit as I do this. Down and then here. And then I collapse. And whether you collapse or not really depends on what's coming. Because if I need that C again, I got to stay out here. If I don't need it anymore, I can collapse. So again, the last two measures of the second line, here, 2, 3, and they want fourth finger here. Next line, you're going to lift up for the phrasing, you can get away with it. Otherwise, I don't like this kind of fingering. Same thing we did before, and then just come down a little bit and third finger. I don't like that at all. A lot of times in these books I offer other fingerings. They're just options, so you can try, because there's different fingering styles or different way of fingering things. It's not that one way's right or wrong, although there are some bad fingerings. There's just different ways of doing it. I like to feel my way around, so when I first learn a piece of music, I try and connect all the notes if I can. So I usually use a fingering that lets me do that. It's what I had to do in college, and I got in the habit of it there. So third line, we're here. Here, they want third finger. That's a stretch. I'm going to use second finger on the B flat, thumb, and then I'm going to scrunch up and use fifth finger. Here's. Rather than come down here, I'm going to do that here. So it's here. And the fermatas, I do those later. I'll do those when I do the articulation. At first, I don't look at them, just ignore them. Here. The thumb has to come down there, though. Left hand, what's it doing? Well, it's got broken chords here. Then a D flat here. If you don't want to be up in here, then use second finger. And here, I'm just kind of rolling the hand around here on here. Second line, third measure. Now right here, that's a bit of a stretch. So to help me do that a little better in the third measure, rather than third, I'm going to come down and use second. That way I can reach the little finger better. So this third measure is 2. Then the third line is third, 4, E flat. You can use second finger on the B flat in the second measure if you need to. Whichever, and then come down, C, F, and C, E, and then up here with F, A. You're in this position, the hand just comes up. That's all. So once I have an idea what each hand is doing, I'll attempt to put them together. And again, I hesitate all over. I don't care. I just want to know how the hands are working. We're here to start. Then here. Then here. And in the fourth measure, the A comes up on beat 2. When I play the C in the left hand, the A comes up. It's important. Then here. Here, and here. So that's by itself. The left hand's resting. Rest. Now here. So I'm going from here to here and here to here. Both hands are kind of moving. Well, the left hand has a rest. So during the rest, go ahead and get the left hand where it goes. That way, all you got to do is focus on the right hand. The left hand's already in place. So the last two measures of the second line. And during the rest, see, when I get off the B flat, I just immediately come down where I'm ready to go. And that way I just focus on the right hand. Here. And then here. Again, I get my left hand down during the rest, ready to go. So I work out these little hand movements and the rhythm, so I'm lifting up the hands at the right time. And then I go back over it a few hundred times or whatever and slowly work out the hesitations. How slow, it's personal. It's up to you. I don't know, just whatever. Just a steady beat. Doesn't matter how fast slow you go right now. Just no hesitations anywhere. If you're hesitating somewhere, then work on that spot. Go over it a few times, iron it out. And with hesitations, they're kind of tricky because you'll work them out and later they come back. or you've got things fine, and then sometime in some place where you've never had a problem, suddenly you're hesitating. I don't know why that. It's just, we're nuts. Okay, it's the way it works. You just got to stop and work them out. Don't let them stay. Don't think, I'll fix that in a minute, I'm busy. No, 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 no. You stop and you fix the hesitations immediately, because otherwise you end up practicing them and they become part of your plan. And you can't get rid of them. I've been there, done that. It doesn't work. Get rid of the hesitations. Then, once you can do all that, I have the articulation and the fermatas and things. The left hand, there isn't anything marked, so you just connect the left hand. Everything. Just connect it. The right hand, you have phrasing, but most of the time you have rests. Although at the end of the second line, you lift up. Well, you got to move anyway. So lift up. Just like a little lift there. So in that last line, it's here. Both hands are coming up, and then you linger on that for a little bit, and then go on. And you linger on that for a little bit, whatever feels right. So once I have an idea of the articulation, then I think about the dynamics. P at the beginning is piano for soft, and it's the right hand because that's the melody. Softly, light. The left hand's very soft. Last two measures of the second line. Now you're moderately soft, a little, just a little louder than where you were. The left hand stays right where it was. So. And then the last line, crescendo up to moderately. Here, the left hand stays in the background. We're talking, got up there. And then you come down, another arrow comes. They don't tell you how far to come down. I suggest for the next to the last measure, you come down about a moderately soft. Here, and then keep coming down and go soft in the last measure. Here. In other words, extend that arrow out. Remember when they put in these arrows and things like this, the crescendo and diminuendo arrows, they don't always put them exactly where they go, and they're not always the length they should be. You got to decide on the music. What is the music telling you to do? Here, come down, and then keep coming down. I'm shaping the phrase. We haven't gotten into that yet because that's part of interpreting music, and we need to start thinking about that, assuming you can do everything else. You come down at the end of a phrase. You just naturally feel it. Just like we come down at the end of a sentence. It's just the way it is. Well, same thing in music. Get a little softer at the end of a phrase. Don't have to. Not all phrases will do that, but you can think about it. Speed, just somewhere in the middle, about where I've been going, I think. See, these are going to slow it down. And these long-held notes in the right hand are going to want to speed it up. So you're going to find somewhere in between. It's really the melody's rules. The melody's what it's about. So what does the melody say to do? Do 1, 2, 3 thing. 1, 2, that's not really a moderato, but overall it's the feel of the piece. Please don't copy me. If I had played it again with a few cups of coffee or a few glasses of wine, whatever, I would feel it differently. I would play it differently. Remember the natural accents. 1, 2, 3. Exaggerate them if you have to. We want to feel these. Exaggerate. We want to feel these all the way through as you're playing. Now, once you can play it at least slowly with no hesitations, let's play it together. Check the notes and the rhythms. I'm not going to do any louds and softs. I'm just playing notes. The fermatas, I'm going to add 1 extra beat to the dotted quarter note, and I'm going to hold the dotted half note 6 counts instead of 3, just so to stay with the metronome. So I'll give us 3 counts because it's in 3/4 time. 1, ready, go.